yourself on the screen yet. You might see me at home, but I don't see myself on that screen yet, so I'm just gonna keep on dancing. Hey! Hello, weirdos and malfolks. How y'all doing today? I am Doug, also known as Guslado from Top Dog Design, and yeah, I'm here to paint for you today. Woo! I'm excited. So we are diving in on more of the bygone keyword. Oh, let me just hit my autofocus button real fast. That's better. Awesome. So we're painting up the Iron Matron today. So get ready for really bad heavy metal puns. I'm a bit of a metalhead, and I love Iron Maiden. They're awesome. And yeah, so don't run to the hills. Stick around. Be here till 2 minutes till midnight. Actually, no. We'd only be around at midnight if we were like at like UTC +5, I guess. I looked that up earlier, and it was difficult to figure out, hey, where is it midnight right now? Yeah, so last week I painted up Parson, who turned out really, really awesome. So going to be going on the Iron Matron. I've gotten these guys to the table once or actually no, only once. Once, not once or twice. Literally just once. But really like how they play. It's a fun keyword. And I dig their aesthetic. It's fun, and the way they play is interesting. I like how they've all got the, hey, you start with shielded, you get tomes, which makes for some very interesting stuff. A lot of card draw with Tier 1. Tier 2 intrigues me, but I have not gotten her to the table yet. Yeah, but the Iron Matron, from what I've heard about this crew, most everyone brings the Iron Matron almost all crews because, well, she's kind of awesome. Hey, Kettering Llama, how you doing today? Also, Endofire, glad you were able to tune in, my man. Always a pleasure to see you around here. A pleasure to see everyone around here. But, you know, I don't get to see you in person as often as I'd like to. So, you know, I actually get to see very few of you as often as I would like to. But Endofire was the best man in my wedding, so he gets special treatment. I'm doing well. I'm, you know, sleepy, busy. Last time I saw you all was right after Gen Con. It does not feel like it was that long ago. Time has become meaningless. It's because I'm always busy. And good busy, but still busy. Doing lots and lots of work. And I figure I'm going to do most of the, at least metallic base coats first. That way I don't do all the fun blends on the blue skirt and whatnot, and then mess it up with a big old blob of metallic paint, because that would make me very sad. That would be incredibly sad then. You know what? I think just to get a little bit of contrast going on here for her, for the handle, could do that in golds. Makes a thing on the end. Is it a gem? I don't know. I might make it a gem. I don't know. We'll see. See how I feel. Where's my gold paints? There we go. Gold paint. Put you back that person. All right. But yeah, how's everyone been doing? That's nasty there. What have you all been up to of late? Oh no, that's not fun. That's sad. Under construction paints. Yeah, the color scheme, I'm kind of basing it off of the source artwork for this model, which very much got a kind of a teal thing going on. It's also the faction color for Explorer Society. But so I'm going to be doing a bit of a in the entire in the source artwork. It goes with a dark fade from all the way down here to up here. I'm going to try to do kind of a each panel do a fade up just to add a little more visual interest to it. But yeah, I mean, the how do I choose my colors? I wing it mostly. Let's see, where's my? Oh, there it is. That's the one I need. Yeah, a little bit of a darker gold tone. That's the one I needed. There we go. That was just too bright of a base gold. It's a cool model, though. I dig it. I dig her on the table. I think it's going to be a fun keyword to play. Seems very interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing more people play these. I think the guy who won Gen Con played Tiri the whole time. I didn't end up playing against him, so I do not know exactly what he played. But I think the guy who won Gen Con played Tiri the whole time. And I'm going to assume probably Tiri the Nomad, because that seems really strong. The ability where if your friends do a tome trigger, you get to draw a card. Well, they all get built-in tomes if they start their turn with shielded, which is a really interesting mechanic. And so having that built-in tome, that means that, hey, pretty much everyone is able to, at some point, get that tome trigger. So in the one game I played with her, every single turn, I ended with a full hand, which was kind of insane. Water's over here today. Let's keep going with the other metallics. But the I dig the Waldo's Weekly today. For once, we actually got posted well before I went live today. So I actually had a chance to pour over it. The Hand of Janus. That's the name of it, right? Hand or hammer? I don't remember. Oh, no, it's got a big old hammer there. It is either the hand or the hammer of Janus. Either way. Big old hammer. Is really, really cool looking. Looks like it wants to run around with the Iron Matron. And so, run around with the Iron Matron and parse it, and you got all of the, big, beefy peoples. So I'm going to totally do that at some point. And I will call it Beefy Peoples. That will be the name of the list. Beefy Peoples. Although I suppose there isn't a whole lot of beef left to the Iron Matron. She is now kind of dead. I mean, I don't... It seemed like an interesting ritual. Like she was dying in the story, and they put her into the special magic matron body, I guess. So is she dead, but not? I'm not sure. However it is, she's fun. But yeah, I think this is going to be a fun keyword to play. Been building them up also. So I'm not sure who from this keyword I want to paint next. It's probably something I'll paint next. Or maybe Castor. I built him up the other day. I've been enjoying him on the table. Let's see what the other people have painted. Got to double check and make sure you get lots of new fun things instead of, repeats. Because I know that Eleanor also did. I think Eleanor did the Unseelie engine, which looked really cool. I think Vyruk is planning on painting that as well. I could be wrong. I am not their keeper. I should figure out what I'm going to paint next. But yeah, this is a fun model. Move my water to the other side over here. I keep trying to reach for my water, and it's not where it should be. Here we go. More metallics. More metallics. Lots and lots of metals. Some really cool detail kind of scribed into her arms there. Dig. But yeah, from what I've seen so far, I'm going to have fun painting these guys. So there's a cool look. I dig the kind of ancient technology meets dying race, the hybrid people here, the funky, cool, bluish skin they got going on. Seem to have an interesting story to them, which is cool. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd say this really isn't a pointy thing. It's more of a choppy thing. I'd say it's more of a better for chopping than for stabbing. But still, you get the point. Big sword. Big sword is fun. Just getting all the base coats down. Lots and lots of metal on her here. Yeah, it seems to be metal there too. Yeah, good times. So, how's everyone been? It sounds like you've been really busy, Endofire. Recovered from Gen Con? Because I feel like I'm still not entirely mentally recovered from Gen Con, is playing catch up on life and everything. Yeah. Right, so those are kind of like that. Okay. All right. Let's get the other little areas of metal on there. She's got this metal edging on a lot of her stuff here, so can I at least put down like the base coats on that? I still on camera, yes I am. Okay. Hey, what's up, Vashil? How's it going? Oh, fun. Yeah, so the one Gen Con game I've gotten to the table so far was that rebuilding Seattle game that we played with Rob and Brian that night. That was a great, fun game. Glad I picked that up. That's a game that the name and just looking at it, I would not have just picked up one without having gotten the recommendation for it from Brian and Rob. That being said, once I played it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly the kind of game I love to play. There's something enjoyable about building your tableau. Building your city or your castle, or building a layout for a game. I just really enjoy doing it. So I get big Castles of May King Ludwig vibes off of that game. And yeah. I mean, it plays very different than Castles of Mad King Ludwig, but it kind of hits that same brain space of it finds the fun in laying out your little tiles and stuff. I still have not figured out the strategy for the game yet. But I feel like you've got to build your engine to do one thing. Tiri, so I've only gotten Tiri to table one time. And I really enjoyed it. We also didn't have time to get a full final, like all the way through to turn 5 game in, because we got a late start and we were both a little slow. We were both learning new things, and yeah. So I played Tiri 1. I haven't gotten Tiri 2 to the table yet. Tiri 2, I really like the concept of building you build out terrain as you go, sort of thing. But I got Tiri 1 on the board, and that was really crazy because that crew, when played right, has a crazy amount of card draw. So I don't remember what the name of the ability is, but Tier 1 has got an ability that once per turn, when a friendly model declares a tome trigger, you get to draw a card. Sorry, not once per turn, once per activation. But so you get to draw a card. Well, because of the Scars of Cherufe, all of your models, all of your bygone models pretty much have this ability that if they have shielded when they activate, they will gain, they will get to add tomes to all of their actions at activation. And they've got lots of tome, like almost every single one of their actions has a tome trigger. So because of that, you get to draw a lot of cards. So the game I was playing, he was not doing a great job at getting the shielded off of my models, and I was doing a decent job of activating in the order in which I still had shielded or passing. There was ways to give out shielded. I was making sure that we have shielded when we activate. Hey, what is up, Furyk? How's it going, man? But yeah, so lots and lots of tome triggers. So lots of card draw. Oh, I see your Midwest heat and raise you Texas heat. Don't talk to me about heat until you've come to Texas in August. It is awful here. Like my friends have been posting pictures of their car thermometers being like 114 degrees. 15. You need to translate that one. Normally I would just look that up, but I don't know that off the top of my head. See, I like metric for a lot of things. I don't like metric for temperature. I mean, it's good for scientific temperature, but it is not good for humans. Yes, I know it's convenient to know that 0 is freezing and 100 is boiling, but that is basically useless for a human being. It's either, hey, I'm moderately cold or I'm dead. So on a scale from 0, so let's go with, a scale of 0 to 100. It's a convenient scale. Well, Fahrenheit 0, that's really cold. 100, that's really hot. But I'm not dead, so I can experience it. Like I love, millimeters and grams and all that other stuff. But for temperature, Celsius is not. It's not a convenient way to go. Like Fahrenheit is more granular, and the scale is in a range that is useful. That's just my feelings on Celsius versus Fahrenheit. Is it getting that hot up there, Endo Fire? Oh man. Hot, cold, rain, and fog at the same time. That is craziness. Oh, I mean, Houston, it is not a dry heat. It is like I got. It is like swimming. Like taking my dogs outside to go, use the potty is rather awful. I do not like being outside this time of year. Well, the thing is, and it's not even so. It's not the ocean; it's the Gulf, and so Houston isn't on the Gulf. Galveston in the Bay Area, down in the southeast side of town, is on the Gulf. Where I live, I'm nowhere near the water. But that being said, during the winter, oh, it's not bad up here. It's not bad here at all. It's just, I describe, we don't really get winter down here as I would properly describe it, having grown up in the Midwest. We get heavy autumn. So it's like having, 4 months of the fall, which is, nice. I like that time of year. But yeah, we around about late September, early October is when it's it starts being kind of nice out. Hey, thanks for stopping by the show. But Fear, I saw that you had ran a nice tournament over the weekend. Looks like you got a good turnout. So that was your first time. I thought you were in tournament. I thought you were regularly running tournaments. There's someone else up there normally running them. Oh wow, that's nice. That's fun. It's always good when you get another guy was entering the area. Yeah, it's always nice when you get a good turnout for a tournament. We're getting very solid turnout at most of our monthlies here. I am floored. So you before that it was Alex. Oh yeah, I saw him. Alex is good people. I like Alex. He End of Fire, and I know him. We do True Dungeon runs with him at Gen Con. He's a good buddy. And all of my tournament mats are mats by Mars now. I got 25 mats by Mars now. Which for the Lone Star Fodown. So I've got a large tournament coming up here. If you're on a weird place or on Discord or various things there. Yeah, he's an incredibly busy guy. But if you are on any of the social medias that I happen to be on and see the things that I post, I have been spamming the heck out of the Lone Star Fodown, Malifaux GT. Which we got coming up in October 13th through the 15th, here in Houston. In which, as of late morning, last time I checked, we have 38 players registered. Well, you will hear of it. I'm going to be talking it up a whole bunch. And then everyone else is going to talk it up because it's going to be awesome. Because right now, we are... I know you're kidding. I think I gave you a card, probably. Give everybody a card for it. But we are on track. Well, so I was going into it saying that I was hoping that I'm aiming for 40, and that I was hoping that we would get across the 30 line. So we had 26 players last year. Currently, we're at 38. And I know at least 2 other players who told me they're going to register as soon as they get home. So if you sign up by August 25th, there's an awesome feat deck that I designed that you get it for free. I cannot sell it. But free Fate deck if you sign up before August 25th. Only way to get that exclusive custom Fate deck is to come to the Fodown and register before August 25th. So yeah, so right now, so I am capping it at 64 players, which that, if we got that, I'd be absolutely over the moon. That would be insane. Oh, I mean, the space we're going on. Yeah. Hey, yeah, I mean, and if you're looking for room stuff, I know that there are a few people who have space in their rooms. You know, stay up on a hotel. Great, really inexpensive hotels there. We got worked out a deal with the. I didn't work it out. Heroic Scale Gamers, whose live streams are events, set up a corporate account with the hotel that is right around the corner from the store we're at. And that gives us, so anytime someone comes down here, they can use that hotel link actually. So he set that up for, instead of doing it for a single event, it is set up to always be available, because he also runs, I mean, he does the Malifaux stuff with us, but he also runs, 40K tournaments and whatnot. But Fearic, if you're looking at going and it's hotel stuff, reach out to other people, or hell, reach out to me on Discord or on the Book of Faces. Because when for the weekend, I may live 15 minutes away from the store, but I stay in a hotel, in the hotel that weekend, just so I don't have to worry about driving home. Because I got to be, first person into the into the store each day, get ready and set up, and then kind of the last person out. And then my players, at least last year, just kept buying me beer. So I was like 3 beers deep. Just had just a lineup of beers sitting at my TO table. Because between each round, people just grab me a beer. Because they've got a tavern there. It's awesome. We've got a huge crowd coming. We've got a lot of other content creators are coming. So I'd love if some of the Steam Powered Scoundrels guys would come down. But yeah, we've got both Doug and Brandon from Danger Planet. We got Jesse from Boring Conversation. Jim Dyson. I know he does a podcast. I can't remember what the name of Jim's podcast is. No, he does one. Or maybe just guests on everyone's. I don't know. But Jim Dyson. He's part of the Other Coast? Okay. Yeah, I'm like, I know he does something. I couldn't remember which something it was that he does. I'm terrible at keeping up to date on my stuff. Oh, right. Both the Rage Quit Wire guys are coming. So both Pete and Dixon are coming. So it's almost like, Content Creators Invitational, but not. So that'll be fun. Just lots of cool people. I think we got we are international. We've got 3 or 4 registered from Canada. The other fun thing is that we currently have more people registered for outside the state of Texas than from Texas. I kind of expected, the Texas guys register. I mean, local guys always register more slowly for a big event than for, something on the road. But last year we had 26 total players last year, and 20 of them were from Texas. Currently, we're at 38 players, and I guess that meant last numbers 14 or 15 from Texas. I'd have to count again. So big numbers from outside the state, which is really cool. I'm also excited. So we're doing Henchman Hardcore and Bonanza Brawl, because you know what? Those are always fun to do. Fun, delightful shenanigans. But I changed up the Bonanza Brawl this year ever so slightly, because, I like it when people just have a fun, shenanigans-filled time with Bonanza Brawl. I decided to, instead of doing it in the normal gaming space, which, by the way, the gaming space at Dragon's Lair, absolutely huge. We could fit up to 70 players if we needed it. I can't handle that many players, but we could physically fit that many. But we're going to do the Bonanza Brawl in the tavern. So that then people can drink beer and, even more fun, do karaoke. So yes, we will have Bonanza Brawl going on at the same time as karaoke at the game store, because shenanigans. Oh, it is delightful, silly fun. But can you imagine how much more silly fun it is when there's beer within arm's reach? Oh, yes. Because that's what we shall be doing. And karaoke. There we go. Exactly. I think that, I see a lot of people like, at Gen Con, there was a few people like, yes, really serious. I'm like, no. Have fun. And then you all really kind of lean into the fun shenanigans of it. I love when the fun shenanigans of it gets really, really rolling, Let's see, what do I got? I already used, that's the next one. I need to reach out to, and part of the thing that inspired me to do the Bonanza Brawl with the karaoke and the, in the tavern. So so Doug and Brandon from Danger Planet are coming. And at a lot of other, large events, so like at Gen Con, at Captain Con, at Nova, they go and do go out to a bar and do karaoke. Well, which is tons of fun with those guys. Well, tavern at Dragon's Lair does karaoke at least once a week. So, like, wait a minute. Why go somewhere else for karaoke when we can just stay in the bar and we can just stay in the game store, not have to worry about driving anywhere? And boom, karaoke and gaming and shenanigans. Karaoke and Malifaux and match made in heaven. Karaoke Foe with Bonanza Brawl. So I'm excited for that. I announced that on, so went and did a Rage Quit Wire over the weekend. Recorded a podcast with them to promote the Foe Down. And announced that there, the Bonanza Brawl plus karaoke. Because that is a new idea. I love it. It would be awesome if you're able to come down, Furyk. I don't remember if you were playing back in the day when Chrissy was still around and was running Califo. But that's kind of the inspiration I'm getting for this event, because it was my first major event I ever went to, and so I kind of draw inspiration from that for how I'm running this. Okay, but yeah, it was my first big event. I'd never traveled out of state for a Malifaux event before that. Didn't quite know what I was getting myself into, but oh man. It was so much fun. I think at the time that was really the large event of the year. Because when she did it, she actually had a split. The second day, the top players were split off and did their, continued the tournament. Everyone else played a story event, which was really, really fun and cool. And while not doing that this year, that would be an interesting thing. Like I always enjoyed that because it kept the players who were, hey, I'm not going to win this thing, kept them engaged. And so that's what I like to do. It's, the low and middle tier players that, well, obviously got to make things really good for the upper tier players. Competitive balance, etc. there. Most of the players are not the, upper echelon. And most people are coming in going, hey, I'm probably going to finish middle of the pack. Hope to, crack the podium, but on average, your player is average. And that's just the laws of math. And so, being able to make sure that the majority of the players are having a fun time is really, really important. So one thing I do, what I call it the Medical Automaton Award. I like that one. It is basically, it's an award for a player who was towards the bottom, bottom third of the rankings after day one, who sticks it out and then finishes the highest amongst those players who are at the bottom. That, really rewards the stick-to-itiveness. I also always, every event I do, no matter the size, I do a best sportsmanship. I always have my players vote on who their favorite game they played against was. Who is their favorite player to play against? That's how I always phrase it. And that's always popular because I like to reward someone who just comes out and has a good time. Not only do they have a good time, but they help other people have a good time too. That's really what it's all about, in my opinion. Is people coming out, having a good, fun time, doing something we all enjoy, playing Malifaux. So something fun, and we're still hammering out exactly the details on it. So we are doing the Students of Conflict Bounty Hunter prize as well. And while the exact details, we're still figuring out the details on this. But basically, if you defeat a player who has been on the Students of Conflict podcast, you're going to get some kind of a token from them. And then there'll be a prize whoever collects the most tokens. It's like bounty. And I got to, make like some wanted posters and stuff. So it's going to be fun. A little game within the game. I mean, obviously, it's not up to a player who they're going to get paired up against. So that, there's a certain amount of randomness with it. But it's, hey, doing something fun, adding, extra, an extra little meta game to it. All I like. But it would be awesome if you're able to make it down, Pyrrhic. I should reach out to the other scoundrels. Yeah. I am unfortunately not going to be able to hit Nova this year. I was hoping to. It just looks like life has just been too crazy lately, so I'm just not able to swing it this year. Sadly. It's been really overwhelmed. Got a lot of, work going on. Been busy. I mean, it's the good busy. It's the a lot of cool design work So I've been doing a bunch of sculpting for a terrain Kickstarter for these guys called Phoenix Foundry out in California, and they're gonna. So if you go check out their stuff, and like they've tagged me a few times in their social media posts. So some really, really cool stuff. I'm not sure when it's going to launch. You can see. So I mean, if you go onto Instagram, the Kickstarter isn't live yet. We're still doing pre-production on it. I was literally just before this, I was sculpting, another building for them. But they tagged me in a couple of posts. And so the ones that if you go on, so Phoenix Foundry on the Instagrams, any of the stuff that they've been showing painting lately, that is stuff I sculpted that. And they printed that out in California and are painting it up. Just talking about it a little bit at Gen Con, but I couldn't share it at Gen Con because NDAs, because they hadn't put anything out yet. But now they have started putting things up, so that's good. I also enjoy the way that relationship's working out there because I don't have to. I'm not the one who has to do all the promotions for it. I make cool artwork. I hand it off to them. They promote things because I am terrible at marketing and promotion stuff. I just don't understand it. But yeah, if you check it out, I mean, it's some really, really cool buildings. Honestly, I'm really proud of a lot of the work I did there. Some really cool stuff. And you should take a look at these. I haven't added any of it to my socials yet, so my socials link won't actually do anything there. But if you go to Instagram and look up Phoenix Foundry, that's who they are. They've been really doing a lot of social media blitz on it lately. But the big tavern building and the big house are things that I sculpted. So lots and lots of fun. But that has kept me busy. But like I said, the good kind of busy. So, Ferric, what models have you been playing lately? Because I've definitely been enjoying Tiri. Seems like a lot of fun. Only gotten the one game with her so far. But seems like she's going to be a solid, fun master to take. Back in the Bayou. You know what? It's that Call of the Banjos, man. Banjos always bring y'all back to the Bayou. Like every Bayou player I know, they dabble in something else, and then they go back to the Bayou eventually. It's the Call of the Banjos is what I refer to it as. Ah, yes, of course. But you'll be back. The Bayou always brings them back. It's just the way it goes. You can take the boy out of the Bayou, but you can't take the Bayou out of the boy. It sounds like a very Bayou phrase to say. You can take the boy out of the Bayou, but you can't take the Bayou out of the boy. Heck yeah. I mean, I've got I enjoy running a crew with some of the Bayou stuff. Now, I mean, I run it Neverborn, but Zoraida, and I, then get gators that I mutate with Marcus, because flying alligators is delightful. The funny thing is that one of Houston's nicknames is the Bayou City, because we've got bayous running all around throughout the city. Now, I've lived here for, it's 2023, here in 20. I've lived here for 12 years. I still have no idea what differentiates a bayou from a river. but apparently there's something. Don't ask me what that something is. Unless, someone else wants to go out there and hit the Googles. Someone else wants to Google what the difference between a bayou and a river is. That'll be useful information for me. A bayou is a marshy outlet of a lake or river. So it's a marshy river? I mean, to be fair, bayou is fun to say. A river can contain a bayou, but a bayou is not a river. Bayous are almost stagnant, whereas rivers are relatively swift. Bayous tend to be brackish, while rivers are mostly freshwater. Okay, well, all the bayous near me are freshwater because I'm far enough inland. Oh, wow. Your dad joke game is on point today. Oh, hey, I'm going to make a terrible dad joke that probably you've heard before. So, when does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. Hey. Yeah, that was a terrible joke, and I love it. I mean, I feel like you should have heard that one by now, Endofire. I mean, you are, 3 times a father. Once, twice, 3 times a daddy. I mean, that's a weird, awkward. That's an awkward to phrase it. I regretted that immediately. Might as well just forget I ever came up with that terrible, terrible song. All right. Well, I got the metals in there, so I believe it is time to get going with the blues and such. Let's just give this a little spin so I'm not digging into that same spot there. All right, nice deep blue. Oh, kind of a turquoise blue there. Where's your number 2 brush? There we are. Really lay this in there. Glaze this in. Start out a little bit light because I'm going to be doing kind of a fade. So plan is to kind of, so on her artwork, it's got kind of a fade from dark up to light. I'm going to be, the intention is, so each of these panels, instead of doing dark to light up there, I'm going to do dark to light, dark to light, dark to light. So I think that'll just add some nice visual interest to it. And not be just the exact same as the source artwork. Starting out with a very, very thin turquoise glaze. Just to kind of lay it in there, work it down into the cracks, start getting so I can go darker, I can go lighter. Just kind of laying in some color. So, Firik, what have you been painting up lately? Still painting up the clampets, or are those all done and you're moved on to painting other things? Oh, and so the basing I'm going to be doing for this is, so I'm doing all of my most of my outkits are already on like these cracked earth bases, and so I'm going to be definitely doing those for all of my bygone. I like the idea of like, because the stories talk about them coming out of the deserts, so kind of the coming through the parched earth there is kind of the theme I'm going with for them. Plus, then I think so I'm going with a lot of like blues and metallics because they're all because they're all half robot as they replace parts of their body due to the curse of Cherufe. They are adding on these mechanical arms and stuff, and so I think that having a very stark kind of the sandy look of a cracked, parched earth really kind of offsets their look. So that is the plan for this crew. And the other nice thing about doing the metallics first is that if I overpaint onto them a little bit there, well, it kind of almost gives it a look of a reflection to it there. It's kind of glazing into that color, into the metallics, I suppose. So that's me. Yeah, maybe be a little messy on that then. Work smart, not hard. But yeah, Tiri is definitely a master and a model that I've kind of come around on. When Madness of Malifaux and the Masters were first announced, I just really was not drawn initially to Tiri. I don't know. It just didn't. It wasn't doing it for me. But then reading the book and just seeing the models, I'm like, okay, yeah, yes, I'm here for this. Getting big, kind of Disney Atlantis vibes going on to an extent. Obviously, they're not underwater, but that lost ancient civilization constantly on the brink of collapse it's a fun idea. I dig it. And they definitely kind of have that aesthetic going on. So I ended up picking up all the models that were available for this keyword at Gen Con. I think the box we are still missing, if I'm not mistaken, that it wasn't available at Gen Con. I believe it was the one that's got the ancient constructs in the first light. And then on the cruise that I've got done, I have not put the first light into my cruise yet, because I'm still trying to kind of figure out what her role is. I got to figure out a little bit better. I have not looked at her too closely, but I'm not sure what her role is yet. Alrighty. Make sure that I've got good shadows established in those crevices there. So I'm doing a nice kind of wet blend fade of this, which I enjoy doing a good. It's been a while since I've done a good wet blend fade on something. I like doing them. They turn out well. They just look so great. It's been a while since I've done something like that. Oh, let's get a stretch for a second real fast. All right, let's stretch. Oh, goodness. I'm also eating fruit snacks because you know what? I need a snack. What is this fruit? Counts as fruit then, right? This is fruit snack. Totally counts as fruit. Yeah, this one's looking nice so far. I dig. Indeed, that's why I got water here. All right. Those fades set up. There we go. Okay, and I got those little spots right there, which I was going to do. Nice. So these little circles on here, I'm actually going to make those kind of like a little glowing light thing, I guess. And that is not the green I wanted. That's the green I wanted. Okay, that's a much better green. right. Go. Yeah. Little green circles there. I feel like that's a nice pop of color. Got in a little something here and there. Break it all up a little bit. All right, let's get her eyes. So I did kind of a glowing green hammer thing for inside a Parsons hammer. I'm not sure if it landed as well as I wanted it to, but it looks cool. So I think anywhere is kind of like the magical power source for them. Gonna go with green for this critter. Gonna tie it all together. Go. So artwork has got kind of these little lights up above. And these kind of fins of her headdress, I guess. Just got a little kind of green in there, then I'll like kind of add a bright point of green in there eventually. Go and do your job. What in the world? I think that's overrated there, Furyk. Thank you, man. I'm digging this. This is a cool model, and I really dig the aesthetic of the entire keyword. Seems like it's going to be a lot of fun to paint. Well, I'm going to give her a little bit of a, got to do sword handles, like wrap it in leather or something. Here we go. Let's grab that. Actually, no, I used those before. Those will totally work. I used that triad for Parson. That totally works. There we go. Oh, I'll paint up, shake all the paints at once. There we go. Behold. Right. That was the handles what I was talking about. Like, what am I painting? Right. And I got to stab that because that has gotten a little crusty in there. The Bygone is on your list to pick up. Yeah. I mean, I hadn't thought about it beforehand, but then I'm at Gen Con and I saw, I'm like, you know what? I wanted to get the box that's Tiri and Castor 2. I was already planning on getting that. So I'm like, you know what? Well, I got Tiri. I mean, that's got Tiri in there. Might as well get the rest of the keyword. Because why not? I'd already had this waiting for me to paint after Gen Con. Because I did the paint stream with the giveaway of... I did fall for the trip. Well, to be fair, I already had Parson and the Iron Matron here. Ready to go for painting. For painting on stream. Got sent to me at the same time as the Miss model to paint up for that giveaway. Which, man, hopefully that model got there safe and sound. So I had a blast painting that model. You know, it is the trap I fall for. Half the time I'm like, oh yeah, any of the dual master boxes I've gotten, I've then kind of gone, it's like, you know what? I should get paint up the other crew too. Because why not? I have totally fallen for that. And I'm okay with that. Because it's just more fun things to paint. I like painting all of the things. Now the crew I would love, so something I really want to do, and I had fun with the double random rush again this year, but I want to play a double rush game using Barkus and Cooper 2, because that sounds ridiculously fun. Like, of all of the boxes, like of all of the dual master boxes, that crew right there, I mean, that box right there feels like it was they just made to go together. And if having more fun models to paint is a trap, well then you know what? Sign me up for that trap. I like painting all the fun models. It's good times. It really does put out such great looking models. I love these models. This is just a fun, cool looking, stately sword lady. So one of my local guys was saying, like, talking about, wanting to. It's like, oh, hey, do you want, you want to split this box? I need this model and that out of that. And I'm like, well, first off, I've already got that box to Gen Con. But also, I'm like, oh, no. I mean, like, I want both masters from that box. There have been some complaints about I can't get, the other master, separate from it. Why do I need this with this master that I'm never going to use? I'm like, well, use it to practice painting. Ooh, Judd and Honey. Ooh, fun. But see, I figure, hey, even if you're only going to use one half of the box, well, the other half can just be painting practice. And who knows, maybe eventually you might want to play it. Or you're going to teach a new player and say, hey, I got this other crew here with me. Or bits. Really, there's endless things you can do with it. Oh, trust me. I do not underestimate the value of interesting bits. I overestimate their value. The random things I have around this office is absolutely nuts. I just have so much as random stuff. Like, oh, well, hey, maybe it'll be useful eventually. Like, where is it? Oh, it's up there. Where is it? Oh, is it down there? No, I don't know where. I don't know where it is. I was going to grab something as an example, but it's out of arm's reach. But basically, I got a whole bunch of lids from orange juice containers because they look like, sculpted marble. And I've used them for basing a couple of things, but not as many of the not as many of them as I have lids of. A couple friends of mine are mad at you because of the whole game. There's only 4 keywords that you don't intend buying or painting, and they want me to 100% the game. You know what? I'm okay with going for the 100% on it. That sounds like fun. I'm not there yet. I mean, I've got. It's not all painted, but I definitely have all. I at least have all of the Neverborn and all of the Arcanists. At least I think so. I should go through and catalog my stuff. I don't always remember what I've got. I mean, so I have been playing Malifaux now officially for 10 years. So I first tried out Malifaux at Gen Con in 2013. And that was the year that second edition launched. After 10 years, yeah, you kind of accumulate a few things. But in a fun way. Roman, you started in 2015 software event. Nice. All right, so Furyk, who was your first master? Well, obviously it was something in the Bayou. Was it Zoraida? Well, the limited options because they weren't a real faction. Summerteeth Jones. Nice. Yeah, so back when I was playing back in second edition, we didn't have a whole lot of Bayou players in my area. Now we seem to have a lot of Bayou players. It's because my guys like look and go, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. The weird, crazy, drunken gremlins. I'm on board for this. Nice. So one of my favorite things that happened for me in second edition against Bayou is that so back in the day, most of the Gremlin Masters, because it wasn't Bayou at the time, so yeah, so most of the Gremlin Masters were still size 1 or height 1 at the time. And the Wendigo had an attack. where it would just remove a height 1 model. It would devour them. And I did that to Ophelia in a tournament. There became that old maxim of you would always, no matter who you're playing, if you were in Bayou, you would put stilts on your master. So stupid things like that didn't happen. Got to put stilts on her. A bit after that, you put stilts on her for every game for the rest of 2nd edition, probably, right? Ah. So painting these little things on her, kind of like they're gemstones. Am I, Brian? Kind of gemstone looking. So I'm painting them up kind of like a gemstone. Oh, yeah. Always took stills up Frank. Because he'd get that dumb luck trigger, red joker it, and then stilts it off. Alrighty. Let's get going with the other blends of the blues and whatnot. All right, let's get this all set up. So I got Deep Ocean there. Here you are. Deep Ocean. Let's get the Marine Teal. There you go. And we got the Surf Aqua. Alrighty. get that sky blue down over here then. All right, yeah, so that's what I'm doing is I'm just kind of sitting up on my wet palette. They're just doing the colors that are going to be the gradient of the fade on her there. Let's kind of set it up in advance. So that then when I'm kind of working my way between them all, we're good. All right, maybe I don't think I actually want to use that sky blue. That's not the color I thought it was. So let's actually go with a new paper towel. Here we go. Where is my white ink? So I'm going to do something a little bit crazy. Let's go. Yeah, we'll see how. Just kind of desaturate that one a little bit there. A little bit more white. Okay, there's my 50-50 for you. That it is. There we go. All right. Let's start. A couple brushes. All righty. Kind of doing a blend back and forth between these three colors there to get a nice, smooth kind of blend on that there. Really thin. Kind of glazing back and forth. Yeah, Zip is one of those masters where I'm like, okay, I could see myself playing him at some point. He's got some interesting mechanics. He's lots of fun. He's full of shenanigans. I don't remember what the name of his ship is. He's the captain of the shenanigans in my brain. The infamy. Right, that's what I said. He's the captain of the shenanigans. The good ship shenanigans. Right, you know? Dread Pirate Zip. Yeah, I've not actually seen that on the table yet. So what does he actually do? Because I've not actually seen that on the table yet. Because, like, I know, like, Zip 1, he runs around and does shenanigans. Like I said, captain of the USS Shenanigans. Because that is what he do. He do shenanigans. Marker removal that draws cards. Nice. Well, that's fun. Whoa, whoa, whoa. A Zip that can interact? That just feels counter to what he does. Hey, Weird Kyle, what is up? How you doing, my man? Taking a break from my, from making all the awesome games. All of them. All of the games. Hey, heck yeah. I'll haunt this place. Oh, it's almost like you've got a game about ghosts that is going to Kickstarter soon. When does the expansion for Vagrant Song go to Kickstarter? I don't remember off the top of my head. Mid-September. Nice. When will then be now? Soon. Spaceballs, model painting. Spaceballs, the board game. Is there a Spaceballs, the board game? Because I feel like there should be a Spaceballs, the board game. Oh, yeah, Young Frank is. I am looking forward to that crew. So that crew is going to be a challenge to paint because I want to do it with the black and white look. Which properly executing a crew in black and white is tough to do. I don't remember. There was a guy who used to post do crews like that a lot, and he would post them in a weird place. Can't remember what that painter's name was. Really talented dude, though. Right? I mean, I saw that and go, oh man, this is right up that guy's alley. I can't. He hasn't posted anything in a while, I don't think. But you know the one I'm talking about because he'd like do them where it wasn't just it's grayscale. No, he'd do like an actual proper black and white with then like these little pops of color here and there. I'm trying to remember. Like I could not remember for the life of me what that painter was. But he would post a lot of really great looking stuff. I remember there was like a really good looking Jack Daw crew he did. Specifically, I remember that. Kimberly, do you remember who that painter was? They seem to have a pretty good memory of painters in the community and whatnot. So I figure if anyone remembers, it'll be you. And I don't think he's posted in a while. Yeah, I like stuff that has that cool because it's a very it's obviously a very stylized look to it there. Yeah, but he executed it really really well because I've also seen other people try it and it didn't land. But when that style lands, oh man, I love how that style looks when it lands properly. Maybe that crew will bring that painter back out of the woodwork. Dude was really talented. Yeah, it's going to be really cool to see what people do with that. I mean, because you can also paint it up full color, and it looks like it'll look really good. So one of the more fun kind of special conversion type crews that I've seen recently played against Danger Planet Brandon at Gen Con. And he made his entire Von Stuck crew Rick and Morty. And he did a good job with it. I really liked it. That was tons of fun to play against, and cool looking crew. Plus, just a fun guy to play against. And he did a really good job with it. Also wasn't such a crazy conversion that I couldn't tell what anything was supposed to be. So I could still tell what everything was, which is also nice. So I've seen some conversions sometimes where it's like, and I have no clue what these models are supposed to represent anymore. Look great, but I don't know what they are. Got a little bit more of that on here. Put that. There we go. Get a little more of you too. I think those will be, those will be really fun to paint. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it. What I'm not looking forward to is playing against so many more Von Stuck players. Too much Von Stuck. Just waiting for the inevitable, the nightmare bump of Yedza players this year. We saw, the bump of Hoffman players. Now we will see the Yedza players here. And then we'll see more Von Stuck players with that. Yeah, opposite of a silver lining. Anything I can come up with that would be, I would say, is the opposite of silver lining, I should not say on stream. What is the opposite of silver lining? To be fair, I say that mostly because I do not have a great record against Von Stuck. Played against a few very good Von Stuck players before. And played well. Von Stuck is potent. Definitely one of those crews that can do a lot to kind of shut down what I like to do. Oh, that would be really cool. But I don't know if that'll. I don't see that ever happening, but that'd be really cool. I mean, you could end up with flaming unicorns then if you did the fairy dust and pixie farts one. That was Ulix, right? Tied on it by buying a second Nightmare box and spark it. Nice. Yeah, that was one box I did. One Nightmare box I ended up not getting. It just didn't appeal to me as much as the other ones do. One of my local players painted up really nicely recently, and so I really enjoyed. It's painting wise pretty solid. He was excited that he was able to actually get a hold of it, which is cool. Yep. Okay, see, and that's showing knowledge of the lore. You did a. It was the little golden piglet that then turned into Fire Pig. And I do enjoy that story, the story of the golden piglet. That was a fun story in the lore. Then I like how the whole thing was. It was a callback to the golden piglet. Which is cool. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the story goes with that. Because always fun to see new stories. I mean, the stuff that was going on in Madness is kind of crazy. Oh, what are they nightmare? Oh, what are they nightmare? What was that? What are they beefing with you about? Their tier lists. Oh, like which is their favorite like their favorite of the nightmare sculpts? Like, what are they like? How are they beefing with you over the build for the crew? I think up until last year, the Dark Carnival was my favorite Nightmare box that had been released. Just the aesthetic and the theme was great. And then I'd say second was Crazy Cat Lady. But last year's box really took it up. It really took it up a notch. So now something I do have to say is that the Rotten Harvest boxes have been doing a really great job in my local store because, obviously the Nightmare boxes, those don't make store shelves. Those, it's Gen Con sale exclusive. But the Rotten Harvests, those do, land on the shelves. And I've been having, those have gotten more people, just random people who didn't know what it was at all. So like, hey, I want to pick up this box. And I might as well learn how to play the game now. So that, the Dia de los Muertos Nightmare Rotten Harvest box ended up really, really moving well at my local store. From people who had never even thought about doing Malifaux before. So that was really cool. And so as a painter, I love having all of these different alternate options. Now, as far as Galahut goes, one of my really good buddies has been painting up that box recently. It's understandable for him to, be a little behind on the times because, well, he had a kid. And, bibas take up a lot of time, apparently. And so he has not been, as up on everything lately. Because bibba. But so he has got his Galahut box where he's wired every single one of the models with LEDs inside of it. And it is just absolutely so cool to see. And it is really cool to see how well that has turned out. And the models just have all these great spots where we're talking like he drilled into them and wired them through the insides of it. Absolutely nuts. Ridiculously skilled maker and hobbyist. And yeah, it's just so cool to see what he's been doing with that. And he recently got an Instagram. I need to follow his Instagram because I don't remember what Adam's Instagram is. Or if he told me what it was yet. Mentioned, I'm like, dude, you got to share that to, social media and tag Weird in it because they will, I know that Kimberly loves cool things like that. And I know that you just love that. You've told me before, one of your favorite parts of the job is sharing the cool things that the community puts out there. And I hear you on that. There we go. I really like how those blends are looking on that there. It's looking nice. It's a pain in the butt to do. It takes time, but I think it's looking good. Some nice fades on there. And a little bit more of that to you. Now, speaking of Gallagher, the thing I need to do is get that Through the Breach one shot, because that there's the tragedy of Gallagher, or I know I've seen it pop up recently a bunch. I know it's a recent release. Is it available now, or is it a coming soon? I can't remember. Someone's asked me, it's like, oh, what is the lore behind this guy? I'm like, I don't know his lore. Because we did not have lore when he launched, as far as I was aware. I feel like it should be. You never know. Things get delayed. Like, I don't think I saw it at Gen Con, so I don't know if that. I also don't know, is that EPUB only, or is there also in physical copies of that? Hey, good to see you, End of Fire. Thanks for stopping by, man. Always a pleasure. Give my love to the family, my man. I didn't realize they did one for Eddie Adara as well. I guess I missed seeing that one. I put one out for Pirate Mountain. Why did I not know these things? I really need to be better about following Through the Breach stuff, because there's so much cool Through the Breach stuff. And I just, forget about it, because I don't get to play very many RPGs. Oh, man. Yeah, we're getting late in the day here. Yeah, and not in a creepy way. If you want to do it in a creepy way, I mean, at least warn me. No. I need to be better on keeping up to date on my. Hey, yeah, Furyk, I really, really hope you're able to make it down for the Lone Star Down. Last I checked, we had 38 people signed up for it. Who knows? Maybe we had more sign up while I was busy on here. I'm kind of doing my big push for it right now because so the deadline to get a ticket and get the free Fate deck is this Friday. So, and if you want to see what the Fate deck looks like, it on my Instagram, the video that I've got there has got has it right there at the end. I'm really proud of that. I tend to be more of a, I'm a full-time artist, but I do more 3D and less 2D stuff. And so that one was a labor of love. So it's going to be fun to actually have it in my hands. And the 25th is the deadline because I have to order them. And ordering, something custom like that printed in bulk is not cheap. So I don't want to order way too many and then, be sitting on tons and tons of decks. So ordering what I need. And thank you. It's very exciting. And it's cool to be able to actually now make that and get that out into the world. It's going to be fun to use a Fate deck that I designed. Because not often you get to say that. I'm really liking how that's looking there. Obviously, still got a little ways to go on her, but we can see where it's headed. Yeah, it's going to be a good, fun time. The store that we're at has been really, really great to the Malifaux community. Honestly, the Malifaux community in Texas would not be as big as it is if it weren't for having such a great store that has been just a really great partner to work with to help build a community. And that's really what the store has been. Their goal in making the store was to be a community place, be community first, store second. Obviously they have to be selling things, but they really, really wanted. They were doing it because they want community, and they've done such a good job with that. So when people ask me how to build a good, strong gaming community, finding yourself a store that is willing to work with you and embrace the community is so crucial. It really, really helps. Yeah, and hopefully you'll be able to come and get a hold of one of those wonderful decks. Hey, thank you. It's coming along. Really liking it. So this is kind of the fade look I'm going for, and I'm gonna do that up here too. Is taking time. Doing the wet blend on it takes a little while, but thank you, Crazy Eric. Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's doing that slow and thin, lots of thin, and then back and forth wet blending. And these ones up here, I was just kind of going up a little bit farther to the mid-tone. And then gonna blend back up and down and up and down and up and down. Because that's what you do. Lots and lots of thin layers. Well, so I'm glazing it, and then when I'm getting down here, like right now I'm layering it in there, but I do wet blend when I'm on there, where it like literally put wet on wet and then feather it together. So I do that. That's kind of what I've been doing down here. I'm just getting these ones set up a little bit better to do that. So I do the wet blend feathering on those. Just not up here at the moment. So yeah, that's what I was doing down in here. Put it in the white, grab my mid-tone, and then mix it back and forth. Right now, I'm just kind of glazing in some layers. Yeah, honestly, it kind of it's how I learned how to do it is to layer to get yourself set up, and then wet blend between. Right, because if the environment isn't great at the moment, it'll dry your stuff out, and then like, oh crap, and I suddenly, instead of wet blending, you tear your paint. And oh yeah, so what get at? You're using all kinds of blending tools. But yes, that is the time for today. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and stay weird, everybody.